What's up, everyone? Welcome to this week's edition of the Weekend Warriors podcast. I want to say thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoy the show. We are live.
Hey.
Dom, you're so quiet.
What's up, guys?
All right, so how was y'all's weeks?
Amazing.
Pretty good.
It was good.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Dom, you heard you got some big news to tell, so go ahead and go for it.
Yeah, the most I've ever weighed was 168 yesterday. I was actually really shocked.
From what?
Are you gonna do one last push for 170 before you stop?
Bro,
That's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been telling him I wanted to get into 170 before he hit the cut.
The 170 will be crazy for me, insane.
I'm going to start eating a lot.
I think you'll get
2
there.
pounds doesn't sound like much, but
No, and I do I don't know. I feel like I just maybe just getting cocky, but I do feel like I'm getting so much bigger now, and I really want to measure again, pretty soon.
Yeah, we will
Yeah.
next week.
I don't know if it's the pumps, but I just look crazy now. I look unbelievable.
Yeah, the start of each month we measure. So we'll measure you next week for sure. Monday, whenever you come back from the beach. But that's the bad part, is you're coming back from the beach
man.
without having a full week of workouts. So
Yeah.
when are you leaving?
Thursday.
Okay, maybe we should measure you tomorrow. It might be better off that way. That way I'm not missing you with a full week of workouts. Which it's not like you're gonna fucking get small, lose a bunch of size. As long as you just keep your diet maintained while you're gone, you should be fine. But
yeah,
that's dope though.
he's going to come back weighing 178.
Well, he probably will.
Seafood.
Bro's been binging on fried shrimp, crab cakes.
He'd be curling into the whatever it is. What do you dip boiled shrimp into? Marinara.
Butter?
There we go.
yeah, man.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. I thought you meant
That's
garlic butter sauce.
Yeah.
Anyway, bro, we're way off topic. Gunner, how was your week?
I started thinking about seafood.
How was your week, Gunner?
It's been really good. I got to go to the gym pretty much every day except for Saturday, and then I went this morning too.
Hey,
So I feel good.
Any PRs? Any news? Other than just you're just finally starting to get it?
Yeah, not really any PRs. I mean, I'm already back up to as strong as I used to be, but I just keep adding sets and adding extra workouts. So when I first started leg day, I only had 3 movements on there, and that was leg extensions, leg curls, and it was hack squats. And now I have 6 or 7 different movements now,
There we go.
and I don't get sore. I mean, I get sore, but not like I can't move the next day. Because when I first started back, every single session, it was so difficult to go the next day just because I'd be so sore.
Dead.
Because I would try to emulate what I used to could do, and it wouldn't go too well. So I had to trim it back down and then build back up before I could go as hard as I, once did.
Well, I'm just glad to hear you're back and have the ball rolling again. You're finally getting serious back into it, where you're not missing days.
It took me a while, but I'm here. I'm back finally.
I heard your
good to be
protein
back,
of
too.
choice, Gunner. Gunner, I heard your protein of choice is bologna. Can I get an explanation?
One of them.
Can I get an explanation?
I think I know who you got this information from.
You might know.
Because let's hear. So, at night, I've been eating, this weird post-workout meal. It's a cup of instant ramen for the carbs.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2 pieces of extra thick bologna and 3 over easy eggs. And that's my post-workout meal.
That sounds like cholesterol incarnate. I'm not going to lie. That sounds like your LDL levels are going to be pretty high. Hey, but you're getting it in, though.
But I drink, and I have a similar meal in the morning. I do 4 eggs and 2 bowls of pasta.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do, then I always have shakes throughout the day. 2 or 3 shakes always.
I see.
Mine's Fairlife milk.
Bro,
Screaming
fuck
cows. I don't care about them.
Wow. This man supports animal abuse. You heard it here first, folks. This man supports animal abuse.
Nah, bro.
Nah, but for real though, Fairlife milk is like the best. With with high protein Fairlife milk.
Dude, the core power. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just dope.
Those 42-gram chocolate ones.
Man, them cows, honestly.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I feel bad for them, but hey.
That's like the only real dairy I get in my diet is those core power protein shakes.
Thanks. Every morning. For me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear y'all had good weeks and everything. So, that's dope.
But you, Kobe?
Yeah, Kobe. You can't dodge this.
The cut's going good. I'm down from... At the gym, it says I weigh 259 on the manual scale. You know what I'm talking about, Dom? That says I weigh 259 at first. I haven't weighed on it. I'll weigh on it tomorrow and see. But my scale at home is saying 245, and there's no way I've lost that much weight in a week, so I don't know which scale is wrong.
Maybe, like, you had a big pump or something. That's why I think, like, I don't believe in the 168, because, like, I had a really good pump. Really good pump. It was a pull day.
A pump won't add weight, though.
Do y'all weigh on the...
I feel like it does, though. No. Oh, the...
Let's see.
The manual
I want to find out. Let's find out. Will a pump add weight? I don't know why it would. Because it's just the carbs you already have in your system that are being used in the blood that's getting flowed to your muscles to pump your muscles.
I feel like it does.
Maybe it does. Maybe not. Maybe it does. That'll be a later question for past the podcast. But back to my week. I'll wait tomorrow, but my scale says 246, so I don't know. No real updates. I haven't hit any PRs this week or nothing, so it's been just another gym week. Nothing bad, nothing good. We just chilling.
Yeah.
But we can move on to questions. So what do we got first lined up?
When to bulk.
So you asked that, Dom, and it's like...
Yeah, I think you should be the first to answer, because you asked first.
I asked Kobe, I don't know.
Just give me your thoughts on it. Just give your thoughts on it. That's it. It doesn't have to be right or wrong. Like, there's no right or wrong answer, really.
Well, usually, like everyone always does, in the winter, like right after summer, because, you know, no one cares about that summer bod, during the winter. But, the real question is when to stop and all that. Because, like, I see people at the gym, they'll be bulking, like, a month, probably less than that. And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I cut next week. I'm like, really? And they'll be like, yeah.
That's almost yo-yo dieting. That's, like, on the verge of yo-yo dieting.
So, like, I'm not being mean or anything, but they're not big enough to cut yet. Like, I feel like, for me, my plan was to bulk this whole year. But you said to cut, like, in a couple weeks anyway.
Yeah, I think we got you up to a good way to cut. So.
Yeah. I feel like you just bulk until you actually, like, are big, or, like, you know, that you're like your top weight.
I would say...
Maybe, like, a few months at least.
When to bulk is up to the person, but I think when to cut is a better question. Because...
That's question number 2, by the way. So if you want to answer both of them.
Yeah, just do both of them, actually.
Okay, so when to bulk is, like, really just up to the person when they're tired of being, like, skinny. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're tired of being lean and you're wanting to, like, put on some size, it's just up to the person. Like, there's no real determining factor on when you should and shouldn't bulk. I mean, it's up to the person. If they have, like, an upcoming show or something in, like, a year or so, maybe they should bulk for 6 to 8 months and then cut for 4 months or so. But, what?
Also, like, people, they get so scared just because, like, they don't want to get fat again.
Mm-hmm.
Or they don't want to get fat. Like, I understand that, but if you're trying to get big, you gotta do that anyway.
Yeah,
my opinion.
If you're trying to put on some serious size, yeah, you have to. You're gonna have to put some body fat on. You will,
and you can help that.
Heavy.
You can help that too. You don't have to consume like over 100 grams of fat, really.
I'm gonna say if you're gonna bulk, if you're going to bulk, do everything you can to clean bulk. Keep dirty stuff out of your diet. Limit that to maybe 1 meal a week, 2 meals a week at most. For the most part, if you clean bulk, you will put on fat still because you're in a calorie surplus. It's not all going to be muscle. But as long as you keep the saturated fats down or whatever, keep everything bad for you low and keep all the good stuff high, that will usually work out a lot better for a bulk because you'll put on some actual lean mass.
Like,
that makes
like
sense.
People, like, recently someone just asked me to, like, Dominic, you're getting a little fat. Like, when are you actually going to start cutting? Like, whenever I feel like it's time to cut. Whenever I actually, like, it's time to cut.
Whenever it feels
or also when Kobe says it's time to cut. But mostly whenever I actually feel comfortable when to cut. So, because I'm trying to be absolutely massive. And then when it's time to cut, I'm trying to be really lean.
Right,
but massive still.
But sometimes people can overdo it. And then you just end up actually getting fat.
Yeah.
You can absolutely overdo a bulk. I may have done it once before.
Yeah, it can definitely happen.
Like, someone told me that I should shoot for 200. I'm like, no, that's actually just getting fat, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, to maybe passing 170 is literally just getting fat.
I want to go back to what I was saying earlier about how it depends on what you're eating in your diet and how much weight you're putting on. Because when Gunnar was bulking like that, he was like, we talked about it in one of the first episodes of the podcast, but he was having those crazy protein shakes or meal replacement shakes. And he said he was eating like Doritos and all kinds of other stuff.
Everything bad.
Now, if he cut a meal or so out of that and replaced everything else with like good foods,
with good stuff,
yeah, with good stuff, he probably wouldn't have got that big to that size, but he probably would have been around like a 195-ish. Pretty damn lean, pretty damn big. Looking about how he was last year whenever you were working with Terrence.
And then I had to pretty much cut all that weight and rebuild because I cut it. I crash dieted. That's another thing we could talk about in the future is crash dieting. But because I went from 216, 215 all the way down to 163 on stage. So
that's wild. But
and I had to build all the way back up from 163.
But you got to your best look ever from that, and that's.
Yeah, that is true.
That's where you wisened up and got smart with your dieting and stuff.
Yeah, and I absolutely know that I'm bigger than that now because I can right now I'm about 186, 187, and I can maintain this weight fairly easy, only on 4 meals a day. I can easily do 5 meals a day. I've done it in the past. I don't want to add it in until I absolutely need to because I'm still slowly gaining weight right now.
Gotcha. We can move on from this and transition on when to cut. So, in my opinion, as somebody who has watched bodybuilding and cut and bulked themselves and kind of been a part of that lifestyle for a while now, the conclusion I've drawn is that once you get to a point to, let's say, my marker is don't get over 20% body fat. If you can keep it below 18, do your best. Do your best to keep it below 18%. Trying to get over 20%. If you can stay between 15 and 18% body fat while you're in your bulk, you're doing great. And once you start peaking over that 18 to 20, that's when you know it's probably time to cut a little bit. Time to get down to about 15% or less if you're just wanting to get shredded for whatever reason, whether that be a show or at the beach or just to look good.
And question, we talked about it last podcast about results or check progress, like you measure yourself and all that. How can one person check how much body fat percentage they got by themselves?
You're going to have to know how to do your body measurements. So you're gonna have to measure. What the heck? Yeah, for people that don't have any context and you can't see the video, Gunner just changed the background to like Palm Springs, beaches.
I'm on vacation, boys.
I don't know what's going on here. But what was I? What was I saying? Shit.
How to check body percentage?
Oh yeah, to check body fat percentage. Easy way, super easy way. I would just recommend getting clamps. Get clamps. Go get a scan. Go to your local GNC and some of that thing. There's no real, truly 100% accurate way to get body fat percentage. None. There's no way. You can't know unless you literally take out all the fat out of your body and measure that compared to your lean mass. There's no way. But you can get rough estimates. And if you're always using the same way to measure, you'll always be, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent. You'll be consistent with your measurements if you're using the same method, whether it's tape or whether it's calipers like I use for you, Dom.
Yeah.
So if I was going to say just like some random dude on the corner wanted to know how to measure his body fat percentage, I'd tell him just to get some measuring tape, get some like little cheap clamps, because that works. Cheap clamps work. Like I said, go to GNC. You have to learn the different places to actually measure from, but that's easy. Maybe. Sometimes
Let's look it up.
Yeah, I think if you're going to cut, you got to start cutting around. Just don't get over 20% body fat. If you're over 20%, it's probably time to cut. In my
Isn't
opinion.
there like a super simple Army or like Navy body fat test you can get on like Google?
Yeah.
All you gotta do is your navel and your neck and your height.
Yeah,
I mean that'll track pretty good.
Yeah,
that's
that
what
works just
that's
as
what
well.
they do for us.
I think that's an easy way to do it. Definitely, probably the easiest way, honestly, if you just wanted to go on that website. But if you want to get a little more accurate and get kind of a truer statement about your body fat percentage, I'd say use the calipers and use the tape at the same time. And then go, and I would say use different methods too. Don't just use one method of body fat percentage. Like you at least want, I would say use like two at least, and then get an average. If you just use one, who's to say you're not way off with that? And then use another, and you're like 2-3 points off. That may not seem big, but it is big at the end of the day. If you're talking about when you need to cut, like, does that make sense?
Yep.
So, I'd say use a bunch of different methods. Like a minimum of 2. So, does that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay. No.
Next question is when to maintain.
When to maintain. I think that's like entirely up to the person. When you're at a comfortable place, like a few people I know and have done a show with, they definitely seem like they're at a good spot to where they're like dense enough to be able to maintain that much muscle and not have to bulk like crazy. Like obviously after a show, you're going to have to gain some weight back because you're cut down to single-digit body fat percentage, and that's just not, you can't sustain that for longer than, a week maybe. But, yeah, I'd say you would know when you need to maintain. Like there's no real good way to know when to maintain. Somewhere between like 12 to 18% body fat in there is where you should maintain if you just want to go by body fat percentage.
In y'all's opinion, what's harder, cutting or bulking?
Oh.
I think it depends on the individual.
Oh,
for me, it's bulking.
Question. That's a good question.
So I can get lean really easy, super quick.
I hate
but it
bulking.
takes me forever to put on size.
But me and Kobe had this conversation not too long ago, actually. Like, I was telling him how I hate bulking because, like, I just hate eating so much. And he said, well, that's what everyone loves. Everyone loves bulking because they get to eat whatever they want. They get to eat so much. I'm the opposite. I like eating, but not too much because, like, every day I feel like crap. I feel tired. I know that's like for like cutting as well, being tired, but I'm just different. I don't know why. And I'm always in the bathroom after every meal.
Okay, I shouldn't have said everybody likes bulking because let me like restate what I said. Fat boys like bulking, like me. I like bulking because I like eating.
I like cheat meals when I bulk. Right now, I'll always cheat on weekends.
Yeah, fat boys like me like bulking. Like, I'm cool with eating 4,000 calories of clean food as long as I have it, like, can get it pretty easily. The only bad part about bulking to me is, like, spacing my meals out on, like, a busy day, like today or something. When I don't have time to get meals and I'm going to have to eat it past 10 p.m. But otherwise, I
gotta eat like 2,500 calories in one serving.
Cutting fucking sucks. I hate cutting.
I love cutting.
I hate it. I
don't have to like force eat myself. Like I literally, when I bulk, I'm ready at the table, just one more bite. Like you got this. Bro. Encouraging myself just to eat. Sounds kind of sad, but like it's crazy.
So even when I cut, it's like I never, and obviously you're not going to have the same energy that you have whenever you're bulking, but when I'm in the gym cutting and I've only cut 250 calories back out of my diet, I can feel that so much. Like if I'm missing 250 calories from the previous week, I can feel that throughout the entire week. Like I get tired so much faster. Hell, I have to up my cardio too. So I up my cardio. I cut down 250 calories. And it's just like being drained. And I can slowly feel it the more and more and more I cut out calories. It's not terrible, but I love the results of cuts when I do bulks.
That's like probably the best to overlook. Well, it could be also for bulking for some people though. So.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I love your look now more than I did whenever we first started. I like your look more now than I did when we first started. Or even when you were like shredded during the summer. I think you look better now.
I appreciate it, but I don't know. I guess like body dysmorphia or whatever. People just feel so like insecure about themselves. That's me. Every time I pose, I'm like, man, I wish I was leaner.
We're gonna get to the point where we just get your waist tight. We're gonna have a tighter waist and big shoulders. You have that crazy V-taper. Your crazy natural V-taper that you have is insane. Like one of the best I've seen. One of the best in the gym for sure. Maybe the best, honestly. Gunner.
Those lower Latin versions.
His lats look crazy whenever he does a front spread. The front lat spread. His delts. And it matching with his lats and his biceps. I mean, it just ties in really well together.
I do that pose no matter what. Like, if I'm just standing somewhere, I'm just sitting at church and I'll just hit it on accident. Like, I'm not even playing it. I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know why. It's just weird. I'm just weird like that.
Bro's naturally bodybuilding in church. But imagine up there giving a sermon and then suddenly you just hit him with the... What's that pose you like doing? What's that pose you like doing? The crucifix? So they're doing the crucifix.
Just too dumb.
That'd be hilarious.
Can't do the crucifix.
I like doing this, but like, I like doing that now.
Gunnar, we haven't even shared your thoughts about the cut bulk thing. What do you think?
What do you enjoy?
Yeah, what do you enjoy?
Maintain. I hate cutting.
Yeah.
I hate cutting because I can't maintain size. I hate bulking because I have to eat so much food. I mean, I can eat 3,600 calories a day and only break 190. I have to get above 4,000 to break 190, 195. I don't know what I'd have to do clean to make 200 because I've never made 200 clean. I will one day though. Hopefully this time I will. We'll see. Especially like my job's a lot more relaxed. I don't burn as many calories at work as I used to. So I think that's a good thing. and I'm just so like I can put all my calories into the workout, not burn myself out throughout the day. So I'm excited to see. So maybe bulking will be a little bit easier this time, and I think I just have a little more muscle mass than I did back then to reach that weight. So hopefully by 2024 or at the beginning of 2024, maybe a little later, I'll be around 200 pounds. That's my goal anyway.
I think you got it.
Gotta be consistent.
Even if I gotta bring the Doritos back out. No, I'm just kidding about that part.
Now we're back.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, bodybuilding versus powerlifting. Dom.
Me first. All right. I think bodybuilding is probably hard. Powerlifting. My opinion.
What?
You think powerlifting's harder?
Yeah, because I feel like
when you think powerlifting's harder than bodybuilding, is that what you're saying?
No. Bodybuilding. My bad. Vice versa. Bodybuilding is it's harder than powerlifting. I think powerlifting you really it's just lifting heavy, just lifting weights. Yeah, I know like hitting PRs is crazy, but I'm talking about like mentally and like dieting wise. Because if you're trying to destroy your weight class, just maintain. You really just gotta maintain really and just lift heavy, hit PRs. And like you just really have to focus on form a lot as well. That's really not that hard.
Mm.
But in powerlifting, like bulking and cutting and like being like mentally focused as possible. Like you can't do anything. If like one bad diet, one bad meal, it like probably mess up your whole like your chances in a show. But yeah, I think bodybuilding is so much difficult than powerlifting.
I'll go next since Gunner has like actual experience. He can be the last person to answer. I'd rather him give like the true statements. But I line up with Dom though. I think bodybuilding, at least mentally, is tougher. Mentally, bodybuilding is tougher because either way, in both scenarios, you both have to peak and set up for your show or your meet. But you have to be so much more dialed in when you're bodybuilding. Like everything has to be going right. Like your diet, your workouts, your sleep, everything matters. I'm not saying it doesn't matter in powerlifting, but it matters. I feel like it would matter so much more in bodybuilding when it's about aesthetics and something so subjective. When you're powerlifting, you objectively lift bench press 655 pounds, where this guy over here bench press 645, so you win easy. Where in bodybuilding, you have to have the mental fortitude for it, the confidence to step on stage for it, the confidence to look good and pose your body well on stage. It's just a whole different thing.
And then, like in powerlifting, you just gotta, like,
go ahead, Don.
Yeah, in powerlifting, you just have to like go up there and lift the weight. That's all you have to do. Even though it's heavy, I know you gotta like, be like locked in, like push yourself and to get that weight. But in bodybuilding, like you're on stage for a while, holding your poses for a minute, and all that. So I feel like that's so much harder.
And what we've talked about doesn't even have, like, I haven't even brought up the difference in training methods. Like the training methodology for powerlifting versus bodybuilding is so much different when it comes to strength versus hypertrophy and maximizing building as much muscle as possible, efficiently and effectively.
Hitting every single muscle, every single angle, every single spot of it.
That's actually what I was going to talk about first was, and y'all may not agree with this, but inside the gym, I'll talk about inside the gym, like so forget the eating or the nutrition or the mental part of either one of them, but for me, just training alone, powerlifting was harder, for sure. Because not out of like I can't do it, but it was out of like honestly pain. Not like muscle pain, but like just actual pain from just heavy squats, heavy deadlifts, heavy bench press. Like I mean, I tore my labrum. powerlifting, and I've still never recovered from that. It doesn't hurt anymore, but it still affects, I can still feel it. And then with bodybuilding, I know I can go in there and destroy myself, but under control. Like, I know I can, I'm not gonna tear a muscle, knock on wood, more than likely bodybuilding than I am powerlifting.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, just squatting alone and powerlifting would take me 45 minutes because I would rest like 5 minutes in between each squat set because my nose would be bleeding from one heavy set, or I'd be out of breath, It was just crazy stuff all the time. But then again, outside the gym, it's kind of like what Dom said. Powerlifting, I think, is much easier outside the gym because I never cared about what I ate. Didn't care about how many meals I was getting in a day. I just knew I needed a lot of food in that day. And then even the competition part for the powerlifting, it was a lot more simple because, I just got as strong as I could and showed up. It wasn't a lot of mentally preparing because, I've squatted many times, deadlifted many times, bench pressed many times. It honestly wasn't that hard to do on stage, even with the rules. Like if I can't red light, I'm sure there's a lot of people who won't red light, and it's just easier mentally because it's not like I had to go in there, go on stage in my underwear, make sure every single shot looked right, make sure every pose looked right. Because in powerlifting, people aren't looking at you; they're looking at the bar, pretty much.
It's objective.
The form and everything.
Every corner, everything, every part of you. You're looking for any little weakness. And that affects you mentally 100% because, like, you're so worried about one thing, you might forget to pose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Another, you're so worried about pinching your shoulder blades back, you forget to pinch your hamstrings. Mm-hmm. A lot of things, man. But mentally, I think bodybuilding is 10 times harder. Kind of like Dom said, because now it affects me so much that anytime I eat bad food, or I say I start my day off bad and I forget to eat a meal, that'll throw off my whole day.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, I might not even go to the gym at the end of the day because I'm like, dang, I ain't got enough calories in to go work out properly. And it'll mess me up that bad. Like, it's horrible. That's why I drink shakes so much, because I know I can get them in. They're so convenient, so easy. I just know I can get the calories in, and I won't have to worry about eating.
If I'm, like, super busy at work and I miss a meal, like my pre-workout meal or something, and I don't get a chance to eat it, and I know I have to go to the gym in like 2 hours, and then I have to come home and make up for that 500 calorie difference on top of the other 2,000 calories I have to eat, bro, that's like, oh my god, I don't even want to do this shit anymore. But I agree, though. I think the conclusion on this is, one is definitely a lot tougher on your body. Powerlifting is so much tougher on your body. It's a lot more deteriorating. They both overlap some, I'll say that. They all both affect you mentally and physically. But I think mentally is everything. If we're talking about toughness and how hard it is, bodybuilding is so much harder because it's so tough on you mentally. Especially people that deal with body dysmorphia or some anxiety or anything like that. If those little thoughts creep up into your mind a week before you're going into the show and you don't have a coach to settle you down or like a good partner to help you out, good fucking luck. Good luck going out there and keeping your confidence on stage, being in your underwear on the spotlight beside 10 other people in front of a crowd of 1,000 people. Good luck.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think they're both hard, just different ways. And I respect anybody who powerlifts, and I respect anybody who bodybuilds. Like, that shit takes dedication regardless.
And you're also
I can't wait to talk about some of the stories of our first show.
Oh my, yeah, we'll get into that.
Like the random dude in the parking lot.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Oh, you not remember the random guy in the parking lot?
Handed us the American honey whiskey or whatever. We just had cups with us that we already had Jack Daniels and we already had like Jack Daniels and Hennessy in it. Oh, bro, we'll save that story for another time. That's just hilarious. Oh man, we're 35 minutes into this one, so I think we're good.
I think that's a good way to end it.
It's 10:15 and it's started.
There's 3 good topics. Three good arguments, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's three topics we went in pretty good depth with, so I think we're good. So I guess we're going to sign out.
Next week on the Weekend Warriors. Take it away, Dom. What's next week?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know yet. We haven't talked about it.
Okay. We can stop bullshitting. We can be done. All right. See you guys next week. Peace out.
Later.
Bye. See y'all, boys.